today's Mindful Moments, where we are going to be talking about mindful eating. So before we start, I'm just going to do a quick introduction for those who may not know me. My name is Kristen Chilada, and I am the campus dietitian here at Southern New Hampshire University. And if you were listening for a second before, you may have heard that I also cover some other accounts. I work also at Clark University, Anna Maria College, which are both in Worcester, and then support Revere University in Nashua. But SNU is my home. It makes me sad that we're not all on campus right now, but I am virtual and continuing to work and support SNU the best that I can. So a little bit background, I went to UNH and graduated from there with my degree in nutrition back in 2015. I then went on to complete my dietetic internship at UMass Amherst in 2016 and became a registered dietitian. During that time, I also became a certified personal trainer and worked as a physical preparation coach in a gym for a couple of years. Fitness and nutrition are two of my biggest passions. While I am no longer a personal trainer, just because I like to focus more time in nutrition, it's still something that I love to do. I worked as a clinical dietitian for a little while at Elliott Hospital in Manchester before I started working at SNU as Sodexo's campus dietitian in 2017. So today we are going to be going over mindful eating. And I like to show this photo to start. I found this photo. I don't even know how long I've had it, for a very long time. And I just think it shows how much, if you just think about eating for a moment, eating has so much to do with the brain and so much to do with our emotions and our thoughts. And most people just think eating, we do it quickly, we move on, we don't think about it, we're in front of the TV, we're eating really fast in between classes, we're eating while we're working, and we're not thinking about food. But food has so much capacity to really work into our mental space and our mental capacity. So that's really what we're going to be talking about today within the role of mindful eating. So what is mindfulness? I know probably everybody here has seen the definition of mindfulness at one point or another. We all know mindfulness is awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. And that was said by Jon Kabat-Zinn. I'm sure we all know his name well. So what does mindful eating mean? And really, it's not that much of a different definition than mindfulness, meaning to become aware of food and the eating experience in the present moment on purpose without judgment. So we're going to really dive into what this definition means and how we can apply this into our eating experience. This graphic was created by Dr. Susan Albers, and I love this kind of information. And if you have seen MyPlate in the past, so MyPlate is, if you're not aware, is the USDA's new kind of food pyramid. It was created a couple of years ago, and it's more of showing what our plate should look like, with half of our plate being fruits and vegetables, a quarter protein, and a quarter coming from whole grains. So we see that they have adapted that graphic into a mindful eating graphic and showing that there are 5 different aspects of mindful eating that we should be aware of. So awareness, 1, savoring, non-judgment, in the moment, and observation. So all of those things that we touched on within the definition of mindful eating. So we're going to start with awareness. So before eating, I often really encourage people to start just by thinking, where are you? Like, where physically are you right now? Are you at your dining room table? Are you at your desk? Bring some awareness to the moment. How are you feeling? What are your emotions? Are you even hungry right now? Are you full? Are you distracted? And what foods really sound good? So before eating, people often are maybe just thinking, oh, I have to eat X, Y, and Z. Oh, I have leftovers, I have to eat that. Instead of really tuning in and asking yourself these simple questions of, am I hungry? What food sounds good to me right now? Oops. Not sure what happened there.
Oh, here, I got it.
Okay, sorry. Thank you, Layla. Everyone bear with us for a moment.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay, thank you. So next we have observing. So we are at the table, we maybe chose our foods, and maybe we're in the process of choosing our foods, and we're really getting into that observing the physical cues in our body. So oftentimes I use this graphic, the hunger and fullness scale, is a tool that I use with most everybody I work with. really tuning into your interoceptive awareness, which is our internal kind of cues. So our hunger, our fullness, our cravings. What are we feeling inside instead of making food choices based on those external cues like calories, time of day, macros, a specific diet telling you what you should eat? I encourage a lot of people to tune in and use those tools that we have already. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if you've never seen a hunger and fullness scale, we have hunger. So starting at that 0 to 1 place, we have ravenous hunger. So this is when we are extremely hungry, we're distracted, we're feeling a little nauseous, we're lightheaded, we can't think of anything but food. 2 is that place where maybe we skipped a meal. So we ate breakfast and we skipped lunch and now it's dinner. And again, we are extremely hungry. We are going to make some very rash food decisions most likely, and we're going to eat very, very quickly in that period. Then we move into the 3 to 4 place, and that is where we start to get that stereotypical hunger. So this might be our stomach growling. It might be some lightheadedness, just a little bit, thinking about food more often, feeling a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of distraction. Oftentimes, hunger is not only just feeling the stomach growling. It can be those other subtle cues of just I feel like I'm thinking about food a lot, or I feel like I'm not paying attention to my work as well. I think I need some food to help kind of refocus. 4, and then that slight empty stomach feeling is that 4 when we're kind of hungry, that I could eat, not starving, but I could eat something. 5 would be neutral. 6 is slightly full. So maybe we're halfway through a meal, we're starting to notice the fullness, but if we were to stop now, we would likely feel hungry again pretty soon after. 7 is that place of comfortable fullness and satisfaction. So this might be when we are around 80%, I like to say full. We're not stuffed, we're not uncomfortable, but we feel like this would hold us over for a couple of hours. 8 is that place of a little bit of uncomfortable fullness. Maybe we went out to dinner, we ordered a burger and fries, we ate our burger and half of the fries, but the fries tasted really good, so we're going to keep eating. And now we're at that, oh, I'm full, I think I ate too much, I'm a bit uncomfortable. Those feelings typically will pass within the hour. 9 is extremely full, and I like to compare this to Thanksgiving Day full. So this is when we went back for seconds, for thirds, we ate dessert, we are in a food coma, our stomach hurts, we are unbuttoning buttons, we are very, very full. And then 10 would be that place of painfully full. So this might be after a binge eating episode of eating a lot of food, being physically sick afterwards. So ideally, I really encourage people to enter the eating experience when they feel slight hunger. So not waiting until they're ravenous to eat and not waiting until they're extremely hungry, but entering at a place where you can think about the foods you're going to be eating and you're able to eat slowly and start to really understand when we get to the feelings of fullness, because it takes around 20 minutes to actually send the signals from your stomach to your brain of fullness. Next one is being in the moment. So our life right now is full of stress. We are working a lot. We have a lot of demands with the pandemic going on. There is a lot of stress in our environment right now. So our bodies are constantly in that fight or flight, which is a time when a lot of cortisol is released, our glucose goes up, our insulin and our digestion goes down. And when we're eating, those things are not beneficial. So if we are always in a stressed out environment, we're not able to digest our food as well. We're not able to absorb our nutrients as well. We might notice that we eat very fast and we experience more gas and bloating. So those are things that happen when we are continuing to stay in our stressed out environment. So if we are working while we're eating, if we're watching TV while we're eating, if we're scrolling through Instagram while we're eating, those are all experiences that are really interfering with that rest and digest, which is where we would like to be in the parasympathetic nervous system while we're eating. This allows us to chew our food. It allows those parasympathetic nervous system hormones to come in and really help us get through a meal peacefully. So that's why I say when you are eating, eat at the table. So try and put your laptop away, put your phone away, and sit at the table and really think about the food you're eating. Be in that moment. If anything, having a conversation with someone else is great. So if you can sit with somebody else and talk and have that there, that's fine. But otherwise, really challenging yourself and seeing if you can maybe eat one meal away at the table with no distractions. And that might seem really hard, and you might get to 2 minutes in and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm just sitting here and I'm eating. But that's the time to really start to savor your food. So when we're savoring our food, we can notice how it tastes. We can notice the texture it gives us. We can notice the different sensations and flavors around food. Starting to think about, where does your food come from? Who made it? Appreciating how it was cooked. We also can start to think about chewing our food nice and slow. So really being mindful with that eating process, putting our fork down in between bites, and then allowing us to notice when foods start to make us feel full. I'm going to look at this question. So what if you live in an apartment and the only option is to sit in the living room sofa where your partner watches TV? So that could certainly be challenging. And I don't expect perfection. So is this all day? So is every meal going to be sitting in the living room sofa where your partner watches TV? Thinking about, could I aim for one meal where maybe I do still have to eat at the sofa, but maybe the TV doesn't have to be on. And maybe if I can aim for just one meal a day where I can do this, that could be a good start. But then maybe it's starting to ask your significant other, hey, can we maybe turn off the TV and try eating a meal together just to see how it goes? And not saying all the time, but that could be an option. Also, just trying to tune out the TV. So if it's a show that maybe you're not as interested in, putting in some headphones of a very soft music, some classical music in the background to tune out the TV, and still sitting on the sofa, that's okay if you don't have a dining room table to sit at, and try seeing how you feel that way and enjoying your food. But I don't expect perfection from anyone. I will be the first to say that I love ending my day sitting on the couch with my boyfriend and watching our TV show and eating dinner together. It's relaxing, and I understand that. So I don't expect every meal to have to be an extreme mindful eating experience. The last kind of principle of mindful eating is non-judgment. So this is where we leave the food rules and diet talk away from the table. So let's say, for example, you are about to eat ice cream. Are you thinking, oh, I'm going to feel so bad about eating this. I know after eating this, I can't have ice cream again anytime soon. This is just a treat. I'm not going to do it all the time. I feel guilty for eating this. All those thoughts that diet culture really throws into us about judgment and making us feel like food has some sort of moral value really should be left away. Food is not good and bad, so food does not have those labels, and should and shouldn't around eating, I don't think should exist. Really trusting your body's intuition and cravings around what it needs is the best way to go about eating food, in my personal opinion. So I believe in moderation and really believing all foods can fit in your body, knowing what it needs. So thinking about, how does the food make you feel? If you eat something, does it make you feel good? Does it give you energy? Is it making you feel your best? Are you really liking the food that you're actually eating? Or are you craving, if you're tuning in and you're like, man, I really want a burger tonight, but I should eat a salad, even though I don't really want a salad, and you're eating the salad and you're thinking, man, I don't even really want this right now. I wish I was eating a burger. That's not helping the experience at all with eating. If you're mindful with the burger and you eat it slowly and you chew it and you enjoy it and you move on, I think that's such a better environment to be in. So really leaving those thoughts away and just tuning into that single eating experience and enjoying the food you're having. So someone who eats mindfully. These were, this kind of definition of a person was created by the Center for Mindful Eating, and I really liked the way that it went over everything. So someone who eats mindfully acknowledges that there is no right or wrong way to eat, but varying degrees of awareness surrounding the experience of food exist. They accept that the eating experiences are unique. So is an individual who by choice directs their attention to eating on a moment by moment basis. Again, every eating experience is different and we don't have to be perfect at any given eating experience. They gain awareness of how they make choices that support health and well-being, and they become aware of the interconnection of the earth, living beings, and cultural practices of the impact of their food choices on those systems. So really thinking about food as so much more than just the food itself, thinking about how it makes us feel mentally, emotionally, where is it coming from? How is it affecting our digestion? Can we really slow down with the way that we're eating? So now we are going to move into a mindful eating meditation. So I hope everybody read on the description of this session that we are going to do a mindful eating meditation with a piece of chocolate. So I'll give everybody about like a minute if they need to run to their cabinet and go get a piece of chocolate. If you don't have chocolate, a piece of dried fruit works fine here, like a raisin or a date. Even if you have just something small like a cracker to munch on, that is fine as well. So I'll just give everybody a second here. If anybody has any quick questions they want to throw out while we're waiting, that is fine. And I will leave more time for questions after the meditation as well if you want to think more about it. I will post after. So after this, my Instagram will, the handle will be there. So let's get started. So everybody take a small piece of chocolate and hold it gently or have it near at hand so it doesn't melt. Make sure you are sitting comfortably on cushions if need be, and allow your body to relax and feel supported by the earth. Notice the sounds in the room or outside the room, and gradually bring your attention inwards toward your breath. Take a few moments just breathing and being aware of how it feels to be here now. Now bring your attention to the chocolate in your hand. Notice the weight of the chocolate, its texture. Is it warm, cool, soft, hard? Notice any urges to gobble it up, but try to gently bring your attention back to the sensation of the chocolate in your hand. If they are closed, open your eyes now and gaze at the piece of chocolate in your hand. Notice its shape and color and how you feel about it. Do you like it? It's time to smell the chocolate. If your chocolate is unwrapped, unwrap it now and really notice the crinkling of the paper and how you're feeling about bringing the chocolate closer to eating. Slowly bring the chocolate up to your nose, noticing when the chocolatey scent first reaches your senses. When it does, just sit for a moment, appreciating the aroma. It might be mixing in with other smells you hadn't previously noticed. It might have had a stronger scent than you've anticipated and noticed that chocolate has had before. The urge to gobble it up might be even greater. Notice these things and enjoy the feeling of sitting comfortably, taking in the smell of chocolate. Allowing your attention to soften now, so you still have an awareness of the feel and smell of the chocolate, but widening your focus to take in other sensations. Bring the chocolate to your mouth and take a small nibble. What is the first taste of the chocolate like? How does it feel on your tongue? Notice any flavors and sensations, however anticipated or unexpected they are. Now, place the rest of the chocolate in your mouth, enjoying the tastes you are experiencing, the flavors subtle and strong. Hold the chocolate for as long as possible, letting it melt, letting your tongue explore its textures and tastes. Move it from side to side. Let your tongue go all around and really notice how the chocolate is making you feel. Is it bringing up memories? Is it bringing up emotions? If you're having judgmental thoughts, acknowledge them and let them go. Really enjoy this chocolate. Finally, when the chocolate is gone, bring your attention back to your senses. Notice that there's still a residual chocolatey taste. What smells? Interchange. Bring it into your breath, into the feelings going on inside you. Rest for a moment. Rest for a moment, just breathing and being aware of how you feel. Is it different in any way to you or how you felt at the beginning of this meditation? Bring your attention back to the rest of the room, the sounds you can hear, the cushions or floor beneath you, and the weight of your body on the earth. When you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, so that was our meditation. Oh, I saw it was breaking up. I hope everybody was able to hear that okay. If you have any thoughts, feel free to share them in the comments about this. if that was interesting to you, if you thought that was different, if you've ever eaten in a way like that before. You will see that with mindful eating, it takes a while. So that could take much longer of an experience for you to eat something than it might normally, which really forces you to slow down with your eating. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways I get when working with students is that you have to slow down, and not just students, but staff as well, slowing down when eating and really noticing what emotions come up, what flavors come up, and tuning into that. So that is all I have for today. Again, I am a free resource. So please keep in mind that I offer virtual nutrition counseling right now. When we're back up and running, I do offer in person, but for all students, staff, and faculty on this new kind of community. So in the mill, I am an option really for anyone. So please feel free if you're interested to reach out to me via email at kristen.chulada@sodexo.com. And then you'll see my Instagram page is linked at Kristen_Campus Eats is right there as well. Oh, the cough drop. Oh, that's so funny. Well, I'm glad. Hopefully that was a very interesting experience for you. Does anybody have any questions at all for me before we turn it back over to Layla? So you'll see, so next time intuitive eating, we are, I don't know if Layla is ready to share that yet, but we are planning an event. So an intuitive eating during the holidays will be happening in the weeks prior to Thanksgiving. So look out for that information in November. So we're going to be going over intuitive eating and what that is. I get a lot of people who confuse intuitive eating with mindful eating. They are completely different. So we're going to go over what intuitive eating is, that framework, which I personally use in my counseling. And then we're going to apply that to the holiday season and how we can really use the tools of intuitive eating during the holidays where there's a lot of pressure on food and weight and everything like that. So keep an eye out for that in November. And I guess I will turn it back over to you, Layla.
Thank you, Kristen. That was wonderful. Mindful eating is always super fun, and it was wonderful that we were able to do it with chocolate. I forgot to read that in the description. So thank you so much. That was a great session. I love the scale. I thought that was really, really helpful, especially for when you think about your level of hunger versus how satisfied you are. I'm actually quickly trying to see if I can find your next session. I know I had it in the email.
I have it written down as well. I believe that is going to be Tuesday, November 17th.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was looking and I couldn't find it where I normally have it. So we do have some sessions between now and November 17th, which you'll be able to find, but Kristen's going to do an intuitive eating session, which is going to be really perfect timing right before Thanksgiving, right before the holidays, which will be helpful, hopefully for everybody. Next October 20th, we have a session on mindfully in the moment, breathing for stress relief and inner peace from Donna Packard. I also wanted to let everyone know we are starting on October 19th, peaceful pauses. And so these are going to be 3 times a week, 10 to 15 minutes, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We're just testing this out where we get together and meditate. So again, for about 10 to 15 minutes. And we're really trying to open up these sessions for students as well. We have our committee that meets, and we had intentionally decided that we would start the incorporating students more intentionally this year. And so if you know of students that are interested, if you know of students that are looking for just more information on mindfulness, please share with them this information. And we're trying to make sure the programming is suitable for both students and faculty and staff moving forward. We are starting to also plan for the mindfulness conference. We are not positive exactly when that will be, if we'll have it in May or earlier in the year. And again, that will be open for students as well. So we have a lot of great things happening. I won't put the peaceful pauses on your calendar because I know that's it's clogs up your calendar. So I won't do that moving forward. I will keep it for the mindful moments because they are longer sessions. But if you have any ideas of programming, any thoughts, let us know. We will be sending. Oh, good. I'm happy the calendar helps. Maybe I'll ask people if they want it. I always, I try to be a little too conscious of what they're doing. So yeah, I know that's the same thing. So maybe I will. Maybe I'll do calendar invites, especially for the peaceful pauses, but not just so that they're on your calendar. Um, and then what else? Yeah, so you'll also be getting a survey soon, just asking, what do you think of mindful moments, or is there anything we're missing? Again, this is all volunteer, and so we're trying to just really create a community that is beneficial for everyone. So just let us know if there's anything you can think of, anything that you really want more of. Just send me an email. But it's been so wonderful to have this community. So I just, thank you all for being so attentive and joining and spreading the word. I get so many forwarded calendar invites, which I get so excited about. But thank you. I just, thank you all for everything. And Kristen, sorry, I just went on a little bit of a rampage of excitedness. But this was such a great session, and I'm really looking forward to the 17th and also to next week's session. So thank you all for joining, and happy Tuesday.